So obviously this wasn't a video I had originally planned, but I did want to do something in order to honor the legacy of Chadwick Boseman, who played iconic roles throughout Hollywood, including his most famous role, Black Panther, in the MCU. First appearing in Captain America Civil War in 2016, Boseman would later headline the Black Panther film in 2018 and play small roles in both Infinity War and Endgame. When Stan Lee passed, I made a video in a tribute to his legacy, and I wanted to do something similar today for Chadwick Boseman's performance as Black Panther, one of the most impactful characters in comic book cinema. In today's video, I want to share 5 of my favorite Black Panther moments from the MCU in no definitive order, but simply 5 of my favorite moments for the character throughout the films. And to keep the list interesting and not too predictable, I won't be including any fight scenes as I feel like that would make the list way too easy and take away from some of the best moments the character has. So while we can all agree the airport fight in Civil War was great, along with T'Challa's battles versus Killmonger in Black Panther, I wanted to get a bit more creative with the list rather than including the main attention grabber in the films for the character. I mean, come on, if I was in this video talking about how every fight was cool, it would be a bit too predictable. And before we begin, I'd like to say rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman, an actor who portrayed iconic roles throughout Hollywood and many that impacted viewers around the world, and thank you for the hard work brought into every film. Beginning the list with the first of my 5 favorite Black Panther moments in the MCU is the return of the hero in Endgame, along with the other Marvel heroes who disappeared after Infinity War. So this can be viewed as a scene not specifically focused on Black Panther, but one importance to note during the scene is that he, along with the other Wakandan characters, are the first to appear from the portals. And I think a reason for that is to symbolize the importance this character brought to the world thanks to Boseman's portrayal and the cultural impact his solo film had. When the Black Panther film first released, there were others that I knew of that didn't even watch Marvel films that went to go see it because of how important of a release it was, and there was even a guy I worked with whose family never went to the movies who went to go see this film because of the significance it had. And I think the return of the character first during the portal scene was intended given how impactful the film was to the real world, and along with that, the portal opening is one of the most iconic MCU scenes leading to Captain America finally saying Avengers Assemble. Next, the second of 5 of my favorite Black Panther scenes in the MCU comes from the aftermath of the fight between Killmonger and T'Challa, the Wakandan sunset scene. So just like that, we go from a pre-fight scene to a post-fight scene. I included this because not only does it show the morality of T'Challa allowing someone who put him through so much to finally see something he's dreamt of, but this is just an overall beautiful scene both visually and emotionally. The thing I like most about the scene, aside from the visuals, is T'Challa offering redemption for Killmonger, giving him a chance to be healed, which shows the type of leader T'Challa is and the moral elements that the character possesses. The score in the scene is also great, along with the acting from both Boseman and Jordan, creating one of the best post-battle scenes in the MCU and showcasing the beauty in storytelling. Next, the third Black Panther scene I included in this list comes from the first appearance of the character in Civil War, the scene between Zemo and T'Challa during the finale of the film. I contemplated on either choosing this or the UN scene earlier in the film, another great choice, but I went with this scene due to the progression the character shows throughout the film. Throughout the film, we first see T'Challa as a man aspiring to be like his father, which soon turns to a character consumed by rage who targets Bucky Barnes during the film, eventually resulting in the realization that his goal in the film was the result of manipulation from the man pulling the strings, Zemo. I think the fact that these two characters are outside having a conversation while a fight between two allies goes on outside, which they both contributed to, shows how good of a scene this is. The dialogue in the scene along with the scenery also makes it one of the best throughout Civil War and serves as a redemption arc for the character who was clouded by rage throughout the film. The second to last moment on this list goes to the herb scene from Black Panther when T'Challa reunites with his father seeking answers on how to be king. Not only is the scene one of the most visually stunning in the MCU, but it's also a very impactful scene and something you wouldn't see elsewhere, and shows that even a character who's a superhero can have doubts about leading a country, not always having the answers to do so in any situation. This is also a very emotional scene as it's the first time T'Challa speaks to his father after his death. An odd sentence, but that's comic book films for you, and I also enjoy the dialogue between T'Chaka and his son, who assures him that even though he's nervous, this was something that he was meant to do. There are similar moments throughout the film, but I find the first time the viewer visits this location to be the best one. And finally, the last Black Panther moment I enjoyed most featured in this list is the first post-credit scene from Black Panther. This is a powerful scene as T'Challa finally reveals the true Wakanda to the world, which was seen as a myth prior to the reveal as mentioned by Claw earlier in the film, and this also relates back to the scene I just mentioned where T'Challa takes on responsibility of king and makes the choices that would most benefit the world and Wakanda. Really thinking about it, this scene is similar to Tony Stark's reveal as Iron Man in 2008, and while the scene is similar, some something like this doesn't happen with any other character. T'Challa is the only character in the Marvel world during this moment who runs a country, and while that could be said for Doctor Doom, who hasn't appeared yet, the morales between these two are exact opposites. This is a big risk for someone, and especially for a new king, to share the secrets of a country that were hidden for so long, and really shows the progression of the character from not having the confidence to be king to one that would do something like this. And there you have it, 5 of my favorite Black Panther moments in the MCU that weren't fight scenes. Like I said, I tried to highlight moments for the character that weren't just fight scenes, as those are the attention grabbers in the film, and instead I want to focus on some of the more dramatic and key moments for the character throughout the MCU. I didn't forget any, as some like to say when I make these videos. These were my 5 choices, and feel free to share your 5 favorite Black Panther moments down below, and let me know what you guys think of my choices. Thank you to Chadwick Boseman and everyone involved in these films for bringing these iconic moments to the screen, and long live the legacy of Chadwick Boseman's Black Panther in the MCU. And as always, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, follow my social medias, hit that like button, and I will see you guys again in my next video.